I'm really excited about this, and I want to get into principles first. So let's look at me, and then we'll explain what it means. This is a batshit crazy, inside out, completely contradictory to common wisdom approach to selling. You won't find this anywhere else, folks. You at home, you're lucky to be watching this, you lucky bastards. So, first key principle, this is crucial. I would say everyone here is selling, whether you have a product or service or not. You're always selling something, selling yourself, selling your services. If you're an actor, you're selling yourself on the audition. I've had people throughout the years use my stuff to get jobs for which they're utterly unqualified for. I had one story where the guy was doing the interview, and the interviewer right there took the stack of resumes, threw them in the trash, and said, "You're hired." Principle number one, listen. You're never selling your product or service. You're always selling decisions and good feelings about decisions. I'll say it again. You're never selling your product or service. You're always selling decisions and good feelings about decisions. Let's unpack that for a second. You see, here's the thing. Nowadays, your prospects, it used to be that you had to get your prospect to trust you. Does that make sense? Yes. Now that's not enough. Now you have to get them to trust their own ability to make a good decision. People don't know how to make good decisions, particularly with high-ticket items. Here's the reason why. Does anyone remember the real estate meltdown when the real estate prices crashed and the banks crashed?
Yes, of course.
So right around that time, my accountant called me and said, make a contribution to your retirement account. So I walked into my trusty bank, Washington Mutual. Does anyone remember Washington Mutual Bank?
Yes.
They were everywhere. And I said to the financial officer, I'd like to make a contribution to my retirement. He said, what level of risk? I said, very conservative. He said, I've got the perfect thing. He pushes a portfolio over to me. He says, it says AIG. I said, what's AIG? He said, don't worry, they have assets like you won't believe. Now, for those of you who don't know, AIG was one of the big companies that folded, had to be bailed out to the tune of like almost $1 trillion. And wouldn't you know it, Washington Mutual, I walked in there, did something on a Friday. I drove by on like a Sunday, the sign was gone. I'm not making this up. And then on Monday, it said Chase. Chase bought the assets of Washington Mutual for 10 cents on the dollar. So now if you're selling a big ticket item, guess what? The psychic trauma of that is still in the back of people's heads. It's still back there floating around. So if you're selling real estate or financial investments, remember you're selling decisions and good feelings about decisions. You, on the surface level, sell cars, but you're really selling decisions and good feelings about decisions, correct?
Correct.
Correct. And so people don't know how to make these anymore. You have to create the sense that they know how to trust these decisions. Next principle. I'll illustrate it like this. Look up here. You don't need to look at your notes. What is this?
Phone.
How many times have you seen people doing this? How many times in a day?
A million.
Mama and I were driving, and this idiot was standing right in the alley where the car turned, like this. And I said, excuse me, sir, you're in an active driveway. Mullen said, tell him to fuck you. People no longer have the focus they used to have. Now we have, I remember the days, ladies and gentlemen, of dial phones. You actually had a landline. You would pick up the phone and dial. And the big innovation, we were all so excited and so shocked when they had push button phones. And then answering machines came along. Really? Wow, this is cool. There was no internet. I remember when there was no color TV, and then they only had 7 channels. There was no remote. You guys think I'm making this up, don't you? You had to go and change the channels like that. So people don't have the focus. We have Facebook Instant Messenger, we have Tinder, we have Twitter. Oops, we don't have Tinder. We have Instagram. When I was a kid, you know how we communicated? Telegram. Oh, never mind. Here's another one you won't like. So we're constantly getting distracted by all these things. Now, there's evidence to suggest that these smartphones actually create something akin to an addiction because you're looking for your dopamine hit, and you need more each time.
Well, they're designed to do that.
They're designed to do that. So your prospects don't have the focus they used to have. You need to create these states of focus. Does this make sense?
Yes.
I'll show you how to do that. Any and all objections are just cries for help to make the decision you want them to make. Any and all objections are just cries for help for them to make decisions that you want them to make. Here's a key one. Look at this. Never take your prospect's first response as written in stone. It's almost always a reflection of what they're thinking, feeling in that moment, and it's always subject to change. Does that make sense? I'm going to unpack this and give you specific examples. When people, I bet you get this a lot. I need to think it over, right?
Yeah, all the time.
How would you like to destroy that objection 80% of the time?
Love to.
What would that do for your income?
Make it, probably bring it to 20K a month.
20K a month. Would that be nice?
Oh, that'd be excellent.
Okay, sure. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. You're there to make the sale, not to be liked. So if your attitude is, please like me, you're not going to make the sale. On the other hand, you can't be a bulldozer and not listen to your prospect. Key principle. This is, look at me, this is completely against conventional teaching. Empathy for your prospect must be avoided at all costs. How many people have been heard you have to have empathy for your client or your prospect? Raise your hands. That's totally wrong. Here's why. Empathy means you're actually feeling what they're feeling. So if they start feeling upset or hesitant, you're going to feel hesitant or upset. They're going to pick up on it and think they should run away from you. Do not have empathy for your client. I didn't say you can't care about them. I said don't have empathy. Don't feel what they're feeling. Yes?
You can have awareness. Can you have an awareness of where
Yes.
they're at?
Here's
without having
right.
to go there
This
yourself?
is a key skill in every area of life. The ability to see where a person is at without having to go there for yourself is a crucial skill. It's not a sexy skill. It's not like bolts of lightning come down from the sky and you can walk on water or fly or turn piss into beer. But it's an extremely powerful skill. You get me?
Yes.
Because it gives you ability to get trackable information, usable information, without getting your emotions jumbled. Next principle. Knowing how to subtly confuse your prospect at the right time can be incredibly powerful. Knowing when to confuse the other person can be extraordinarily powerful and ought to be done. How many people have ever heard that when it comes to selling? That it's useful to confusing people? No, we're always taught, make the message clear. Don't make, there's a time to make the message clear, but not in the beginning. And finally, knowing when to be specific and when to be vague is very, very important. If you are not doing well at selling, it's because you're being too specific too soon. I'm going to unpack that and demonstrate that for you. These are just some key principles. We'll keep repeating them. So let me give you an example of being vague. If I said something like, I'm showing you a piece of real estate. If I said, Mr. Jones, you know, as we're walking to this house, through this house today, I think one of the things you'll like is the crown molding in all the rooms. And also, you'll look out that bay window and notice the view. I think maybe you'll also like the rumpus room that your children can play in. And these are all things that will contribute to your decision today, because I think you're going to buy today. What if Mr. Jones doesn't care about the bay window? What if he doesn't care about the crown molding? You don't know. But what if I said something vague? What if I said, Mr. Jones, before we begin this walkthrough today, I'm not sure which features might cause you to think, wow, I really want this home. But as that's taking place, would you make me one promise? Will you promise that you'll share with me the questions that naturally come up when a great decision is going to be made? Now, did I say anything specific there?
No.
No. Did I?
No.
Did I say to Mr. Jones what he's going to find interesting or of value in the home? No. Why not? Why didn't I tell him what he'll find interesting?
Because you don't know.
I don't know. It might not match. Listen to the language. I said, Mr. Jones, before we begin this walkthrough today, I'm not sure at which points you'll notice what it is you find really of value in this home. But as that's taking place, so I made when I said, I don't know at which points you'll find I don't know at which points you'll find yourself noticing what it is you really like in this home. I don't know is what I call a false profession of ignorance. Here's the first wicked great tools, guys. False, not fall, false profession, I'm misspelling, of ignorance. It's not in the notes. These take the form of I don't know, I can't say, I'm not sure. Let me be very clear what I mean by this. I don't know. Mr. Jones, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I don't know. Why do I say I don't know instead of Mr. Jones, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I know you're going to find yourself blah, blah, blah. Why do I say I don't know? Somebody, yes? It takes away resistance. When you show up as a know-it-all, no one will want to know you at all. Write that down. When you show up as a know-it-all, no one will want to know you at all, and they'll probably say no to it all. When you show up as a know-it-all, no one will want to know you at all, and they'll probably just say no to it all. Are you listening to me, Facebook? Does that make sense? Eat me, Facebook. I don't know. This is so powerful. It's worked for me so many times. So, audience, as you're listening to me tonight, I don't know at which point you'll find yourself thinking, Ross Jeffries is a genius. I've got to learn more from this guy. But as that's taking place, can I ask one promise? Can I ask you to promise me one thing?
Yes.
Will you promise me you'll share the questions that naturally come up when you recognize a genius is teaching you $1 million worth of material? Would you make that promise for me?
Yes.
Now, that's what I call implied relationship verbs. I love these sticky notes. From now on, we use these. Implied relationship verbs. Shit can your notes for now. You can put them down. These are great. And you can look at them on the breaks. Implied relationship verbs. This is really tricky. What if in the first 5 minutes, the first 3 minutes of conversation, you could establish yourself in your prospect's mind as someone who's an absolute authority, who they want to follow, who they want to obey? Because inside of every adult is a 5-year-old child who wants to surrender and who wants to believe. Every human being has the ability to do what we call a willing suspension of disbelief. How many here have ever been to a movie? Everyone should raise their hands. Have you ever been to a movie and been in the theater and there's like a 2-year-old kid running around talking, doesn't shut the fuck up, and you want to kick the kid in the head, right? Children have to be taught how to watch a movie. Because in the beginning, the child is looking around at everything, looking at the ceiling, looking at the other people in the theater. The child doesn't know how to suspend his or her disbelief and ignore everything but what they're watching on the screen. The child will actually look at the screen and not necessarily see the pictures. Do you get it? They have to be taught. And you, when you go to see a movie, if you're sitting there going, nah, I don't like the set, and the art direction really sucks, and I don't believe this, for you to enjoy a movie on any level, you have to suspend your disbelief. You have to put aside your critical mind and say, okay, I'm not going to keep saying it's only a movie, it's only a movie. Who here is a pussy when it comes to horror movies? Have you ever found yourself saying it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie? Well, then you're getting your disbelief back. So, false profession of ignorance. When I say, Mr. Smith, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I don't know at which points you'll find yourself noticing what it is you really love about this home. I don't know at which points you'll find yourself. Now, find yourself is incredibly powerful. I am throwing millions of dollars worth of training at you right here. Find yourself. This is cool. I love these. Good suggestion, Mullen. Who's the boss? Whose seminar is this?
Mullen's seminar.
Damn right. Find yourself. We're going to break apart this little bit of patter I gave you. What does it mean to find yourself doing something?
Outside of your awareness.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Anyone here ever find yourself reaching for the refrigerator and you don't even remember why you're doing it and you don't even remember walking over to the refrigerator?
Yeah.
Raise your hand. Anyone here ever find yourself with your head in the refrigerator and go, oh, what am I doing in here? Anybody? Anybody ever find yourself driving down the street and suddenly you find yourself, you've gone 30 miles and you didn't even notice it? Anyone here ever find yourself in love? Anybody find yourself in love? Anybody find yourself falling out of love and thinking, what the fuck was I thinking? What does it mean to find yourself? It implies a lack of conscious awareness, agency, and control. It implies that something is happening that's so strong you can't control it. It's just going to happen. Does that make sense? As opposed to saying try. Mr. Smith, as you try to notice, Mr. Smith, I'm not sure at which points you'll find yourself noticing what it is you really like about this home. That's a command from Mr. Smith to find himself noticing things that he likes. Why am I not telling him what he's going to like? I'm being vague. I'm letting him fill in the blanks, because whatever you can get a person to imagine for themselves will be perceived by them as being their own thought, and therefore they will not resist it. See? Now, let's get back to this. This is really clever. Implied relationship verbs. Share and promise. Let me ask you a question. Do we promise things to people who we don't have a relationship with?
No.
No. Do we share things with people who are complete strangers who we have no form of relationship with?
No.
So when they buy into this, when I say, Mr. Smith, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I'm not sure at which points you'll find yourself noticing what you really love about this home. But as that's taking place, can I ask you to promise me one thing? Can you promise me you'll share the questions that naturally arise when a great decision is going to be made? Well, guess what? Listen to me. Mr. Smith is going to ask questions anyway. When you show someone through a house, they're going to do the behavior, correct? If you know someone's going to do a behavior, you may as well hijack that behavior and tie it into what meaning you want them to give it. So now when Mr. Smith asks questions, it's not just to satisfy his curiosity, it's reinforcing the suggestion that you've given him, all the suggestions about finding himself noticing what he likes, and finally the one that a great decision is going to be made. Here's what I didn't say. I didn't say, Mr. Smith, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I'm not sure at what point you'll find yourself noticing just what it is you love in this home. But as that's taking place, will you make me a promise? Will you make me a promise you'll share the questions that naturally arise when a great decision to buy this home today, Mr. Smith, is going to be made? Why didn't I make it like that? Why didn't I say buy this home today? Put your hand out. Push against me hard. Do you want this metaphorically to happen with your client? No. I'm being vague. When I said a great decision is going to be made, I didn't say what it is. But in the context of all the other suggestions I've been giving, the unconscious mind fills in the blank with, yeah, I'm going to buy. Do you get it? Do you hear it? Here's the really wicked clever part. I really want you guys to get it. I give that chain of suggestions. I don't know at which points you'll find yourself noticing what you love about this home. So there's a command, a suggestion that it's just going to happen. I'm letting him fill in the blanks. But as that's taking place, can I ask one favor? Will you promise me you'll share the questions that naturally come up when a great decision is going to be made? What does that mean to the unconscious mind? It means every time he asks the question, it reinforces the loop of suggestions that he's going to notice what he likes. It also reinforces that suggestion that he's going to make the decision to buy. So how many times is he going to ask questions during this entire process? Multiple times. When you sit down and present the facts, data, and numbers, he's really going to ask questions. But instead of asking questions as a sign of being skeptical, every time he asks a question about the interest rate, he's going to fire that chain of suggestions that he wants to buy. Do you see how that works?
Yes.
No, some people don't get it.
No, can you please repeat that? I was listening, but I didn't.
Okay. We've tied the behavior of asking questions to the whole chain of suggestions, including the suggestion that he's going to make a great decision. So whenever he asks a question, particularly when you're presenting the data, the numbers of the offer, it's not just going to be a matter of him looking for information. It's going to be reinforcing the unconscious suggestion that he's going to buy. Does that make sense? Let me diagram it another way. Hold on, you're almost there. I can see it. Four people only? Fuck you, Facebook.
Has the Facebook stream ended?
I ended it. Because these fuckers weren't appreciating it. So here it is, the chain of suggestions. We're making all these suggestions that he's going to find himself noticing what he likes about the home, right? We're doing it inside of the context of we already have a relationship of trust. How did we do that? By using the implied relationship verbs. The implied relationship verbs got him to unconsciously buy into the notion that we have a relationship of trust and respect. You get it? Yes. Inside of that, we've given all these suggestions that he's going to find the things he likes about the home or she likes about the home. True? So here are the suggestions. The suggestions are taking place inside of the context that they view us as a trusted friend, not a salesperson. How did we do that? We did it with 2 words, share and promise. How would you like to use 2 words to take a skeptic and convert them into someone who sees you as someone they should follow? Would that be powerful?
Yes.
How would that change your ability to sell anything to anybody? And then, so he's got this chain of suggestions running through his head. Suggestions and commands. They're interchangeable for our purposes tonight. What's the chain of suggestions and commands? What did we command him to do?
Notice what he likes.
To notice what he likes. Okay? And we gave him the suggestion, the vague suggestion, a great decision is going to be made. Did we not?
Yes.
We did. Now, here's the clever bit. We tell Smith, would you please ask the questions that naturally arise when a great decision is going to be made? So the behavior, here's the behavior. What's the behavior? Is he picking his nose? Is he farting?
Asking questions.
What's the behavior? Asking questions. So when we do this, what does it mean? Every time he asks questions about anything, tell me more about the crown molding, broker Ross. Tell me more about that bay window. Let's say he asked this. Or, well, I don't know. Explain the interest rate again. Every time he asks these questions, on the surface level, he's asking about the subject. So here's the surface, he's asking about the subject. But on the unconscious level, he's firing off that whole chain of suggestions again. Do you get this? So every time he raises his hand to ask questions, he's firing off the same set of suggestions in his mind. Do we understand this? We'd taken a behavior that he's always going to do naturally anyway. We didn't say, can I ask you to promise me one thing? Will you promise me you'll share the questions that naturally arise when you're going to stand on your head and fart the Star-Spangled Banner? We don't do that. This is a behavior. It's a post-hypnotic suggestion. Essentially, it's no different than a post-hypnotic suggestion. Every time I touch my head, you're going to sing like an opera star. Is this brilliant or what?
Yes.
So, now the mind works on repetition, familiarity, and momentum. Repetition, familiarity, and momentum. Repetition, familiarity, and momentum. So what's happening here? He's repeating the suggestions on the unconscious level. He's getting familiar with them, and he's building that momentum. Every time someone makes a suggestion, the next suggestion reinforces it, and the suggestion after that reinforces that. And so my metaphor is creating an avalanche. To create an avalanche, you don't have to shake the mountain. All you have to do is find that weak spot in the structure and roll that snowball. Keep rolling the snowball till it forms a big enough snowball that it gets the avalanche to begin itself. Does this make sense?
Yes.
The other techniques you're being taught by other people, you're rolling up a snowball and throwing it. But this is creating an avalanche in that person's mind. Does this make sense? Now, notice I'm being vague. When I'm first doing the persuasion, I'm being very vague. Is there a time to be specific? Yes, when you're presenting the numbers and the data and the interest rates and that sort of thing. Then you have to be specific. But guess what? This behavior transfers over into that context. So in the context of you actually presenting the facts, the figures, the numbers, still every time he asks a question, it's still going to reinforce that chain of suggestions that he's going to buy. And he's going to, on the unconscious level, he will not be consciously aware of it. On the unconscious level, all the things he loved about the home will be brought up into his mind again, which adds to the momentum that he wants to buy. That suggestion that a great decision is going to be made, that's going to be running in the background. Boom, boom, boom. So while he's asking how long the home's going to be in escrow, how long is the home going to be in escrow? Bam, on the surface, he's asking for that information, 30 days, 60 days. The unconscious level, he's firing off all these suggestions and all these meanings you put into his head. Do you like this?
Yes.
Is this manipulation?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. It's genius manipulation. It took me 30 fucking years to figure it out. Who's got a copy of my book? Fuck the notes. I'm going to teach from my book. Subtle words that sell. Available on Amazon. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, what happens here? Here's the other really great thing. Because you presented yourself not as a salesperson, but as a friend who he trusts, because remember, do we share and make promises with people we don't trust?
No.
That Mr. Smith now views you as an awesome person who's truly helped them out without pushing, pressuring, or pitching. Mr. Smith has convinced himself to buy. Do you get it? You didn't give him the reasons why. He convinced himself to buy. What does this mean for you? 2 words. Ready? The big word is referrals. Consistent and repeat referrals without you even having to ask. Forget about the kitchen magnets the kids are going to swallow, the cards that are going to go in the circular file. What would it be worth to you in your auto sales business if you got constant repeat referrals?
I wouldn't have to take people who walk in, which would be a godsend.
What was that?
It would be a godsend.
You wouldn't have to take people who walk in. Well, you wouldn't ignore them if they did, right?
I would know them, but I wouldn't have to take them.
That would do a lot for you, would it
Yes,
not?
it would.
I mean, it would take your income 10 times what it is now?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. Is this fun tonight?
Yes.
Are you getting your money's worth?
I am.
Now, as you continue to listen to me, I don't want to suggest that the more excited you get as you stop and envision just what this is going to do more and more for your income, that you're going to think to yourself, I've got to learn more from Ross and spread the word. But as that's taking place naturally, quickly, and easily, I only want to say I feel honored to be the person to lead you into this promised land. Can we make an agreement on that?
Yeah.
He's like, Do you see the fun of this? It brings sales into being something that's really, really fun. It also means repeat business too. So if you could get referrals and repeat business virtually without having to ask, would that be worth a lot?
Yes.
What if every time you got a role as a model, the person would refer you without you even having to ask? Would that be worth something?
Yes, of course.
It'd be worth a lot. And it's wicked fun. This is like deep level evil magic. Anyone ever see The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? C.S. Lewis's thing? I love that Ice Queen. She was great. The wicked Ice Queen witch. I rooted for her. Fuck that. Fuck that metaphorical Jesus lion. He got what he deserved. So, can I take these down, or do you want me to leave them up? You got it? Let me take them down because there's more to put up. So let's back up. What? Here they go. I have language patterns that I've written out here. We're going to go through them, and I'm going to analyze them so you can use them. But before I do that, we have, can you see page 3? We're not going to do those yet. We will, I promise you. We're going to spend the majority of this evening going through them. But let me just say a couple of things first. Look up here. Once again, the building blocks of what we're going to do are commands and suggestions. Commands take the form of, commands do the following things. They tell people something to feel, something to think, and something to do. So for example, as you're listening to me, as you continue to listen to me carefully tonight, I'm not sure at which point you'll find yourself wanting to buy now, but as that's taking place, I just want to say that I feel good, Mr. Smith, that that's happening. So I'm throwing all sorts of commands at them. Feel good, think this, do that. That's what commands do. Suggestions are sort of like that, but the only suggestions I will give you to use, they're simple ones. I could give you a whole list, but I like these suggestions. I really do have a great ass, don't I, Tatiana? Now, I don't want to suggest that each and every time I turn around, you might find yourself thinking. But as that's taking place, I feel happy to know that you can put your finger on the source of your excitement tonight. It doesn't matter whether that happens now or when you're going to sleep, or maybe all the time. It's just, okay, that's happening. These are the only suggestions I ever want you to use. That's taking place. Okay. In that chain of suggestions, you know, I said, Mr. Smith, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I don't know at which points you'll stop and find yourself noticing the things you really love about this home. But as that's taking place, or as that's happening, what does that do? When you put that suggestion at the chain of commands, it's essentially telling the unconscious mind to keep running the commands. So now we have one level of repetition, and now the second level of repetition is tying it to asking questions. So now we have two levels of repetition. One level of repetition is when you say, as that's happening or as that's taking place. It's telling him with each and every step as he looks through the home and notices something, it reinforces that whole chain of suggestions. And then you're doing it a second time when you talk to him about raising his hand to ask questions. He doesn't have to raise his hand. You get it? So now you're doing double reinforcement of the commands. Is that powerful?
Yes. Yeah.
You're really opening up his brain, inserting yourself inside, jizzing in it, and getting him pregnant enough to, what? I'm tired, I can teach whatever I want. This is no holds barred. This is making you a fortune. Does it matter to you if I'm vulgar and you quadruple your income?
No, I'll remember more if you're vulgar.
Huh?
I'll remember more if you're vulgar.
Shit bad. Okay. Let's look at some wicked fun pattern. Page 5. No, page 3. Page 3. Let's read this first one together, all right? I think as you quickly discover how much sense this, let's read it out loud. I think as you quickly discover how much this makes sense for you, you might be surprised at how naturally that leads to the conclusion you want to do it. Now I'm going to say it. You ready?
Go for it.
I think as you quickly discover how much this makes sense for you, you might be, look up here, don't look at your notes. I think as you quickly discover how much this makes sense for you, you might be surprised at how naturally that leads to the conclusion you want to do it. Did I say anything specific there? Did I say how they'll discover how it makes sense to them or how much it'll make sense to them? I did say quickly. Quickly is what we call an adverb presupposition. So I'm going to stop a minute, take a backtrack, and go to presuppositions because they're very important. These are great. From now on, we use these, Mullen. I'm going to keep it really simple. Rather than making it an NLP course where we take half a day, I'm going to teach you the ones that really matter, the ones that I use.
I'm concerned that you want to do it as vague.
What?
Is you want to do it too vague because could your prospect think about some other proposal that he's heard from another
No.
Or is it because
No, listen to me.
Okay.
Good question. He said he's concerned that you're being too vague. You're being vague, but you're also giving them the commands to find their own reasons. So while they're doing the walkthrough, they're going to notice what makes sense for them.
So what in here makes them think about what you're pitching them? As
I'm
opposed
not
to-
pitching them.
As
Well,
Hold on.
what you're showing them as opposed to what something else they have.
Because you're saying, listen to me, it's a good question. Listen to my answer. What word?
Vague.
Vague. As we're doing the walkthrough today,
Okay.
so I'm pacing it by saying, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I don't know at what point you might find yourself noticing what you really love about this home. But as that's taking place, will you make me a promise? Will you promise you'll share with me the questions that naturally come up when a great decision is going to be made?
Okay.
Do you understand what we're doing?
Yeah, that's leading him in the right place.
It's leading him into the right place. Look here. Adverb presuppositions. Quickly, easily, powerfully, naturally. Let's look at these words. These are adverbs. You remember your basic grammar from high school or from junior high? What's the difference between saying, Mr. Smith, as you naturally find yourself discovering just what it is you love about this car, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it might surprise you to find how easily that leads you to the conclusion that a great decision is going to be made today. What's the difference in saying, Mr. Smith, as you find yourself discovering what you love, and Mr. Smith, as you easily find yourself discovering what you love? Which one has more power? Easily, right? Mr. Casting Director, I don't know what it is you'll notice about me. I don't know what it is you'll quickly notice about me that might get you to conclude you want to hire me. But as that's taking place, I just want to let you know, no matter what you decide, I feel very happy that I've been given the opportunity to go to work for you. What's the presupposition there? That they're going to hire you. If you say, I'm really happy about the opportunity to go to work with you, I just want to say, I'm really happy about the opportunity to go to work with you. What does that imply? It implies that they're going to hire you. Otherwise, the sentence makes no sense. Correct? Yes. Implication is very powerful. What we imply, the other person has to make the meaning for themselves. Whatever you can get a person to imagine or interpret for themselves will be perceived as being their own thought, and therefore they will not resist it. Look, 95% of our decisions are, this is a number I'm throwing out there, are made unconsciously and for motives we don't understand. We give ourselves reasons so we can feel adult. We rationalize our decisions. So you may as well address the part of the mind that's the boss anyway. Later, you have to be very clear. You can't be confusing when you tell them the numbers and figures and data. Then you do have to be specific. You catch me? What's the difference between saying, you know, if you were to develop an attraction for me, and saying, if you were to quickly develop an attraction for me, or as you naturally develop an attraction for me, or Mr. Smith, as you naturally get more and more excited about what it is we're presenting today, I'm not sure just exactly how naturally and easily it will help you conclude that you're going to make a great decision. But as that's taking place, I just want to say that I feel great, Mr. Smith, that there's an opportunity here. It sounds like a bunch of gibberish, doesn't it? But at the same time, syntactically, it's correct. Grammatically, it's correct. This sentence, colorless ideas dream furiously. Is that grammatically correct? I didn't say does it make sense, but is it grammatically correct?
Yes.
Colorless ideas dream furiously. The noun, the adverb, the subject, the object, they're all put in the right place, correct?
Correct.
If I said dream colorlessly, ideas furiously, that doesn't work. So vague language, as long as it's semantically well-formed and syntactically correct, will be interpreted as correct by the unconscious mind. Quickly, easily, powerfully, naturally. So here's what we're going to do. Let's see. The command is going to be find yourself wanting to buy. So everyone write down, find yourself wanting to buy. And we're going to pick a partner. A, B, A, B, A, B. If you don't have a partner, you can work with me. Person A will deliver that command to person B. Person B, you'll notice how you feel about it. Then person A, you're going to put in one of these presuppositions, quickly, easily, powerfully, naturally. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to notice what the difference in how it feels when he puts in the adverb presupposition. All right? Then you're going to switch.
Where you put the adverb or just right in the beginning?
We have to put the adverb in the right place. So read it back to me.
Find yourself wanting to buy.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, as you quickly find yourself wanting to buy, not as you find yourself quickly buy, right? Quickly buy. Break up into groups. A, B, A, B, A, B. Take turns. You know how to do this?
Yes.
And I can work with you if you want me to. Okay? Break up into the groups. You can kill the camera. Back in their seats. Okay. Camera, lights, camera, action. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a time to walk the night and by day, fast in flames tormenting. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I would a tale unfurl, whose slightest word would harrow up thy bones, freeze thine eye. Never mind, fuck that. See, so I know how to act. Good acting or bad acting? Tell the truth.
No, that's good.
Really good? Yeah. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. How many notice when they put in the presuppositions, it felt more powerful? When your partner used the presuppositions, did it feel more powerful to you? Yes?
Yes.
Some did, some didn't.
Some didn't? Which didn't feel more powerful?
It depends upon that person and watching their eyes and watching their micro gestures.
I can tell you when you naturally, easily, effortlessly find yourself using adverb presuppositions, it'll naturally be easy for you to notice powerfully how these work. Now, I'm not sure exactly in what ways that's going to take place.
All of them. You hit all 4 bases.
Didn't I?
Home run, right?
Home run. Boom. I've been doing this a long time. Next set of presuppositions. Presuppositions of awareness. There's tons of them. I'm going to give you discover, notice, realize, recognize. Forget about the rest of them. Discover, notice, realize, recognize. Discover, notice, realize, recognize. So, you know, as we're looking at cars today, I don't know in what ways you'll discover exactly what it is you're looking for here and today. Hear that suggestion? As we're looking at these cars today, I don't know in what ways you'll discover exactly what you're looking for today. But before that happens, I just want to say I really am here to help in any way, so feel free to ask the questions that let you recognize you're in good hands. Would you do that? Because I know, let's jump in one of these, because I know you want to drive one off the lot today. Do you hear the double meaning there? Tell me which one you'd like to jump in, because I know you want to drive one off the lot right today. Does that mean buy one, or does that mean take a test drive? Do you hear the double meaning?
Yeah, I hear it.
You're wicked. You're hearing this, right?
I hear it.
Your wheels are churning, my man. You know why he's covering his lap? Because he's getting a boner from this. Huh? This stuff gives me a boner. I love this stuff. I'm addicted. I can't stop doing it. I can't not do it. So, presuppositions of awareness. Discover, notice, realize, recognize. Mr. Smith, as we're doing this walkthrough today, I don't know at what point you'll realize just exactly what it is you love about this home. I don't know at which point you'll discover what it is you love about this home. I don't know which points you'll recognize what it is you love about this home. You know, Mr. Casting Director, it's certainly not for me to say what it is you'll recognize in me that might cause you to think she's the one. I can only say if that were to take place today, you know, it's the head nod. I can only say if that were to take place today, I'm sure that it'd be lots of fun to work with you. So what would you like me to do? Do that little nod. Now that's called the unconscious head nod. When you do that little head nod as you're doing the suggestions, then every time you do that tiny little nod, it reinforces the suggestion. So here we go again. What ways have I given you to get to reinforce and rerun those chains of commands and suggestions? First thing I did is tie it into a behavior they're going to do, like asking questions. Second thing is a suggestion. That's happening. That's taking place. And now I gave you another one. I just handed you another one. What was the one I just handed you? Huh? The unconscious head nod, like, right? So it's not calling in an air straight, guys. It's very subtle. Remember, it's called subtle words that sell, not obvious words that sell. Subtle is significant. My mentor, both of my powerful mentors, Gary Halbert and Shinzen Young, have used the term subtle. Gary Halbert, who taught me how to write sales copy, said something in a seminar that I'll never forget. He said, look, no one has time to try to figure out your pathetic subtlety. And then I understood later, years later, I thought, oh, Gary means if you're going to be subtle, do it in a way that's skillful, not pathetic. I thought he meant something else, but that's what I think he meant. And then Shinzen Young teaches subtle is significant. It's the subtle emotions that you're not aware of on the surface that really drive you. So, subtle words that sell, subtle gestures, subtle little nods. Not, look, Tatiana, look, but subtle. Actually, now that she's facing me, it would be reversed. It would be not there, but there, right? Yeah, right. Now, as fun it is to play with me here in front of a group of people, it's not nearly as powerful as it would be should we find the opportunity to be alone with me. But I don't want to suggest that that'll one day take place any faster than the idea continues to sink deeper and deeper into where it really counts. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm in love with this. I just love it. Mullen's looking at me and saying, Paulie is so happy. Listen to this great pattern. Are you listening to this? Listen. Don't write, listen. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself that a great decision is going to be made. Let's look at this. This applies to anything. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know. What is I don't know? A what? A false profession of ignorance. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself. Convince yourself is grammatically incorrect. You don't say to someone, I don't know which your own thoughts will convince yourself. It's convince you. The proper way to grammatically put it is, Mr. Smith, as I'm speaking to you, I don't know what it is I'm saying that will convince you to make this decision. That's grammatically correct. To be grammatically incorrect is to say, Mr. Smith, as we're having this discussion, I don't know which of your own thoughts will convince yourself. The conscious mind does a little stutter like that because it's grammatically incorrect. It creates a window of confusion. Here's where it's very powerful to confuse your prospect. When you're grammatically incorrect in that way, when you say, and you don't lean on it, you don't want to lean on it really hard, you say, Mr. Smith, as we're having this discussion today, I don't know which of your own thoughts will convince yourself. You want to just glide across the surface of it. Mr. Smith, as we're having this discussion today, I don't know which of your own thoughts, what does that mean? Who, it's which of your own thoughts? That's trancy in and of itself, isn't it? I don't know which of your thought. Here's correct. I don't know which of your thoughts. Instead of which of your own thoughts, that implies something really weird, doesn't it? I don't know which of your own thoughts. That presupposes a hypnotic dissociation. Thoughts, you, your thoughts. So you're creating a hypnotic dissociation just with that phrase. I don't know which of your own thoughts will convince yourself. That's like find yourself. It's a trance phrase. Convince yourself. What does it mean? Have you ever convinced yourself of something? Anybody? Yeah. So you're essentially saying, Mr. Smith, go into a trance, find your own process you use to convince yourself to do what I'm suggesting, and do it. It's no different in its effect than putting someone in a deep trance, saying, now, Mr. Smith, as you're listening to me, I command you to find your own thoughts and convince yourself that what I'm saying is absolutely true. On the count of 3, wake up. 1, 2, 3. We're essentially hypnotically getting them to do what we want them to do. We're dancing them around like puppets on a string. Is this fair?
Of course.
Fuck yeah. Is it fair? What does fair mean? Is there fair in the world? There's only what is. Fair, unfair. There's only what makes me money and takes it from you. Listen to this phrase. It's a really good one. We'll do it again. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts. When I say I don't know which of your own thoughts, presupposes he's going to have a lot of thoughts about this, does it not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Notice I'm not saying, Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know if you will have thoughts. Why don't I say that? Because it implies he may not. When I say, Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself. What's that word naturally? It's an adverb presupposition. Will naturally convince yourself that a great decision is going to be made. What are we doing when we say a great decision is going to be made? That is being vague, isn't it?
Yes.
It's implying they're going to make the decision to buy without saying it. Remember, if we're direct, it can elicit resistance. We don't want resistance at any time. Resistance could kill a sale, and we don't want to do that. But as that's happening is a suggestion. But as that's happening, what is the purpose of the suggestion? To get all the thoughts and the commands to loop over and over and over and over and over and over again. What would that be like for you as you're talking to your prospect? In the back of their mind, they're constantly running the suggestions that they want to buy, they want to buy, they want to buy, they want to buy.
That'd be awesome. That'd be like a commercial in their head.
It would be like a commercial in their head that they are creating for themselves, not one that's enforced on them. You get it?
Yes.
It's essentially a narcissistic loop. It's a narcissistic loop where they're looping on their own thoughts, so therefore they like them. If you said, Mr. Smith, you're going to buy, you're going to buy, you're going to buy, you're going to buy, that's called high-pressure selling. Doesn't work. Do you have any high-pressure salespeople in your job where they actually sell a lot of cars?
Not really, no.
No. And people are hip to it, and they're hip to the false choices. Would you like it in green or red? Right? They're hip to it, and the tag questions. It's a great car, isn't it? Is it not?
Yeah, they can tell.
Huh?
They can tell.
They can tell. They know you're full of shit. But as that's happening, this is wicked. I just want to say, I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to do this. You see that second one? So we have 2 trance phrases. Convince yourself. I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself. But as that's happening, I just want to say, I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to do this. So in that space of 2 sentences, we have 2 trance phrases, convince yourself and find yourself. That's pretty powerful. We've got them to loop on the suggestion to want to buy, 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 over and over. in 2 sentences. So how powerful would that be for you before you present any of the facts, any of the data, any of the information, if in 2 sentences you could get them running this loop that they want to buy for their own reasons without you having to talk them into anything? Yes,
Do you have any of those for sale in the back?
I don't, because I would have to carry a box of books from San Diego. Get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Huh?
Definitely do that.
Order it from your fucking phone. Where do you live?
Colorado.
Oh, too fucking far away. Order it on your phone. On the next break, get out there, order it on Amazon. This is gold, man. Does anyone want me to write this sentence out?
Yes.
I will.
Yes.
I'll give it to you word for word so you can write it out. All right? Yeah, you had a question.
I kind of pick up to this false in all these contexts that using the false
Profession of ignorance.
profession of ignorance is basically saying that if I'm ignorant, it means that you're automatically making the decision maker more knowledgeable.
You're not saying you're ignorant. You're simply saying you don't have the information. You're letting them make the decision.
Right. So if this is previously a decision maker that doesn't know all the information, or as you were saying here or earlier, because I think I kind of got the connection here that
Well, let me ask you, what is your business? What do you sell?
I'm employed.
Huh?
I'm employed.
You're employed?
Yes.
Okay, so you're selling your services to your employer.
Right.
Do you understand?
Mhm.
So even then, you have, let's kill the camera for a second. I know when someone wants private. You ready? We want to appear humble while constantly manipulating the other person the entire time. Let's write this sentence down. You ready? Mr. Smith, comma. As you're thinking this over, comma, I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally, I'll slow down. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts look up here when you've written that.
What page are you on?
Huh?
What page are you on?
I'm reading from my book, page 73. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself that a great decision is going to be made. Naturally convince yourself that a great decision is going to be made. Let me know when you've written that. Look up here. Look up here when you're done. But as that's happening, comma, this is so manipulative. I just want to say, I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to do this. Now, these are patterns to memorize, contrary to the new model of speed seduction. I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to do this.
You put in today, now, a time constraint?
Nope.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to do this. Now, let's unpack that, shall we? Who lent me this book? Give me a pen. What's your name?
Antonio.
Oh, I'm getting tired. Hand me that, hand me that. Everyone else has to wait to the end of the seminar. Thank you, my friend. You'll get it back when I'm done using it. Okay, we all have that sentence. Let's look at it. Mr. Smith, as you are thinking this over, underline as you're thinking this over.
Can I grab my pen back?
Yeah. As you're thinking this over, underline that. As you're thinking this over, that's what we call a pacing statement. It's pacing what's going on, right? We're not saying, Mr. Smith, as you're flying backwards and with your ass on fire, watching Oprah Winfrey episodes. We're pacing what's going on. So as you're sitting there listening to me, looking at me carefully, we're pacing. So Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know. Underline the words, I don't know. What is that? Can anyone tell me what I don't know is? False profession of ignorance. Which of your own thoughts will naturally, underline the word naturally. What is naturally? It's an adverb presupposition. Will naturally convince yourself. What is convince yourself? It's a trance phrase. It's in fact saying go deep into a trance. Go deep into a trance. Find your process that you use to convince yourself something is true. Run that process through what I'm telling you. You're looking at me with astonishment, dude, like you're looking at Jesus. Here's his look. You know that scene in Jurassic Park where they first see the dinosaur? Holy fucking shit, it's a dinosaur. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself. Listen to this. A great decision is going to be made. Underline that. A great decision is going to be made. And somewhere around that right, super vague suggestion. Now, I can give you some NLP terms. In NLP jargon, they would say there's a lost performative. We're not even saying who's going to make the great decision. We're not saying you're going to make the great decision, are we? We're not even saying, Mr. Smith, you're going to make a great decision, are we? There's a lost performative. We're not saying who's doing the action. And we're not saying a decision about what, or how, or where, or when. It's utterly, completely, totally vague. But in the context of everything else you're suggesting and commanding, the unconscious mind will interpret it as a decision to buy. This is pretty wicked shit, isn't it?
It is.
What kind of cars do you sell?
GMCs and Buicks.
GMCs and Buicks? When you hit $250,000 in sales, I get a free Buick. Have you ever just found yourself wanting to be generous? No, I'm happy with my Honda. I don't want a gas guzzler. I like my Honda. But as that's happening is what? That's happening is a suggestion.
Is it also pacing?
Yes. I just want to say I'm so happy to be here to help you. Find yourself ready to do this. See that suggestion? That's also a trance phrase. Find yourself ready to do this. Am I saying why they're going to find themselves ready to do it, or how, or for what purpose? No. This is the exact opposite of what most salespeople do. Most salespeople hit people with the reason and the fact, hey, listen, would you like to save 15% or more on your electric bill? I've got something here that I guarantee will save you 15%, could result in $700 a month in savings. What do you pay right now for your electric bill, Mr. Smith? Do you like paying high amounts of money to your utility company? You know, Mr. Smith, as we're talking today, I don't know in what ways you might find yourself getting really interested in what it is I have to say, but I just want to say, as that's taking place, can you please make me one promise? Will you promise me you'll share whatever questions come up when a great decision is going to be made? So let me show you a little bit about this. Boom. You get it? What's this all about? Well, Mr. Smith, you know that daughter you had back in Tennessee who's 15? I married her. No.
Now, this
Yeah.
is more effective, but it's not 100% effective, right?
Well, nothing's 100% effective. They could make objections, which is why I have section, part 5, the subtle art of destroying objections. Chapter 9, subtle power words and phrases to easily crush objections. Chapter 10, agreement frames. The beauty of agreement frames is how they give your prospect virtual amnesia for their entire way of thinking, and in addition, use their objections as the very reason they should move forward. Who would like to give your prospect amnesia for their objections? You know what amnesia is? They forget completely, where they can't remember what they were thinking. How would you like to give seriously, how would you like to give them amnesia? So they can't remember it, and you actually use the momentum of that as reasons why what you're saying is true. Would that be useful?
Yes.
God, you guys are being very lukewarm.
Yes.
I've been teaching since 10 this morning and going on 12, geez, wake up. Okay. These are really funny. Hold on. Now that we understand what this one means, let's read it aloud together. Mr. Smith, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts will naturally convince yourself a great decision is going to be made. But as that's happening, I just want to say I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to do this. Now, read it silently to yourself and now see how much more sense it makes. Does it make a lot more sense now that you read it to yourself? Do you see how this could work?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes.
When you say, but as that's happening, I remember NLP jargon, they were saying use and instead of but, because it creates, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I would flunk an NLP jargon test, but I could run circles around these people in the real world. They couldn't NLP their way out of a wet paper bag. Most NLP people couldn't pour piss out of a boot. I'd tell them go into the round room and pee in the corner. Does this now make more sense to you? Does it? Can you see how it works when you see the moving parts? Now that being the case, thank you.
You're welcome.
Antonio. Now let's go back to our notes, page 3. Where did my Mullen go? I fall apart if she's not in the room to take care of me. Where's Marlon? What for the Marlon? Hey guys, can I ask you a favor? Tomorrow, can you bury her in licorice?
And lick her?
You're out of here. Get out.
I'm sorry.
Get out.
I'm sorry, no.
That's my best friend in the whole world.
Oh.
Out. I'm kidding. I wouldn't
All right,
kick you out.
thank you, man.
No.
I love you, buddy.
You get that one free.
Okay.
Will you bury her in licorice, please? She likes black panda licorice. That's black, not red. They'll make me very happy. Who will bring her licorice tomorrow or make an effort? Bring her licorice. She loves it. Okay, now with that understanding, let's go back to page 3. Someone volunteer to read the first one. Volunteer. There's no right or wrong. Someone volunteer. Antonio, read the first one.
I think as you quickly discover how much sense this makes for you, you might be surprised at how naturally that leads to the conclusion you want to do it.
That one is wickedly clever. I think you should quickly discover how much this makes sense for you. You might be surprised at how naturally that leads to the conclusion you want to do it. Did I say anything specific there? But does it sound like it makes sense?
Yes.
Here's what I'm not saying. I think as you quickly discover that you really love the interest rates we're offering today, you might be surprised at how saving $500 a month really motivates you to decide to buy today, right here, right now. Would you like it in green or would you like it in red? Because that's not the time to be, this is not the time to be specific. There will be a time to be specific. But first you want to get into their unconscious mind and get them running this chain of suggestions. Quickly discover how much this makes sense for you. I am not telling them how they'll discover it, in what way, why, how that discovery will come to them as images, words, feelings. I'm leaving it all to their unconscious mind. You might be surprised at how naturally, hear the adverb presupposition, what is it? Naturally. That leads to the conclusion you want to do it. You can use this in any situation. Listen to this next one. Just look at me, look up here. Have you ever heard someone say, well, if you're not, you guys aren't in real estate, but if someone says, well, why should we go with you? Why should we list our home with you? Or why should I buy a car from you? Or why should I cast you in this role? Any situation where they're going to, have you ever been challenged on that? Well, why should I pick you in some form or another? Raise your hands. Right? You've had it a lot, right? Well, Mr. Huge Cock, well, Mr. Dingle Dong, I wouldn't expect you to discover your own reasons to go with us until you strongly recognize that feels powerfully good and right, because that makes sense for you. And then you do that little head nod. So let's have a look at some of these numbers to help that process along. Forget that last sentence. Let's look at the first sentence. I wouldn't expect you to discover your own reasons to go with us until you strongly recognize that feels powerfully good and right. You can even say that feels powerfully good and right for you, and then nod your head. Here are the suggestions. That feels powerfully good and right for you. You do the little head nod. Discover your own reasons to go with us. I wouldn't expect you to discover your own reasons to buy my course until you quickly recognize it'll bring you 10 times the investment. But as that's taking place, only you can stop and imagine just how much money 10 times your investment will equate for you. I don't know how much money that is. Only you can get really greedy as you tune into that figure. So anyway, you can go to the back of the room now or in 3 minutes from now. It doesn't really matter whether you're the first person or the third person to sign up right now today. What matters is the closer you get to that table, the more excited you may find yourself getting at just how much money you're no longer going to be leaving at the table. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It did?
What am I signing up for?
Well, exactly. Did I say anything specifically? Come out of trance, Tatiana. You're trying to think it through, aren't you? I know. I love this. I love this one. Go down to the one that says Mr. Jones. This one is evil. I'm going to forbid you guys from using this one, which means you're going to use it, right?
Monday morning.
Brokers get this. See, originally, as I developed this material, this goes beyond real estate. It applies to anything, but I work with a lot of I work with real estate companies. And number one problem they were having, the big frustration is, why should I list my home with you? Because as soon as people see there's a home available, they're bombarded with agents wanting to be the ones to list the home. And it's been so difficult for them. They say to me, well, we present our marketing portfolios, proving what good marketers we are in our plan, our marketing, but they don't even want to look at it. They just listen for 5 minutes and say, give me your card and we'll call you. And they're not calling me. I said very politely, I said, you ever ask a woman for a date or a phone number and she says, well, give me your card, I'll call you, or give me your number, I'll call you? Do they ever call you? No. A sale delayed is a sale denied. Write that down. Mullen, you left the room, I had a panic attack. Huh? You can't do that. I cackle at my own evil schemes. Okay, listen to this. Are you ready? I'm going to read it. You just look at me and then we'll do it together, all right? Look at me. Don't look at your notes. Stop writing. Look up here. So the thing is, well, why should we, I don't know if we want you to list, we want to list with you. Well, Mr. Jones, I just want to say that before we get going with this presentation, of course I hope you choose me to be your listing agent. Hear the suggestion, the command? But as much as I would like you to do that, hear the command? Here's what I'm going to do, guys. Every time I drop in a command, I'm going to do this, okay? Mr. Jones, I just want to say that before we get going with this presentation, of course I hope you choose me to be your listing agent. But as much as I would like you to do that, I only want that to happen because it's totally clear it's the smartest and best choice. So please feel free to ask any questions so you can see for yourself you'll make the right decision. Point to yourself. Do you get it? Do you hear all of it? So choose me to be your listing agent. That is a command, correct? As much as I would like you to do that, that's another command. I only want that to happen because it's totally clear it's the smartest and best choice. That's a suggestion. So please feel free to ask any question so you can see for yourself, command, you'll make the right decision, suggestion, pointing to yourself. You know, as you're thinking about what it is you really love in a teacher, I'm not sure what that is, but as those thoughts are running through your mind right now, I just want to say I feel great to help you recognize you're really going to make a good choice tonight. Anyway, let's get going with the rest of this presentation. Did I say anything specific? No. Did it did it make sense to you anyway?
Yes.
Right. Learning to be vague, listen, learning to know when to be vague and when to be specific and how to go back and forth between the two will make you gobs of money. Gobs of money. Last one. Mrs. Dumbshit. Mrs. Dumbshit, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts. Let's look at that phrase. I don't know which of your own thoughts. What does that imply? When I say which of your own thoughts, what does that imply? It implies there's going to be thoughts. Tatiana, as you look at me, I don't know which of your own naughty thoughts will convince yourself something's going to happen. But you never have to tell me what those thoughts are before you act them out. Anyway.
Well, does that also put them into trance?
Say again?
Doesn't that also put them into trance?
Which one? Which one?
I don't know which one of your...
No,
your own-
no, it doesn't. I don't know which of your own thoughts might convince yourself. What is convince yourself? The trance phrase. A great decision is about to be made. You were saying what the great decision is? That's a suggestion. But before that takes place, before, circle the word before, that's a presupposition of time. Before you decide to buy from me tonight, I'm not sure which of your own reasons will most powerfully convince yourself that's something you just have to do. But as that's taking place, I'm happy to help you answer any questions that let you firmly recognize this is something you must do. So let's take the first question. Who's got one? Mrs. Dumbshit, as you're thinking this over, I don't know which of your own thoughts might convince yourself that a great decision is about to be made. But before that takes place, I just want to say I'm so happy to be here to help you find yourself ready to move ahead. How much are we packing into 2 sentences? Do you see how much we're packing into 2 mother frickin' rocket raccoon sentences? Sue me, Disney. No, don't. I'm covering these up. I do not. I was joking. You don't want to get in the way of the mouse. The big mouse even filed a lawsuit against ISIS. Are you aware of that? No, they sued Hamas. They sued Hamas, the Palestinian terror group, because Hamas was using a character who had a Mickey Mouse head. He was talking about blowing up Israeli children, and the mouse didn't like that. So the mouse sued Hamas, and even Hamas, suicide bombers, said, no, we don't want to fuck around with Mickey Mouse. It's true. True story. Let's go back to teaching from the book. Book, please. How far have you gotten into this book?
28 page I'm on.
Are
I
you
only
enjo-
read it on the plane ride.
Are you
here.
enjoying it?
Yes.
It's good, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It gets me excited because I was in sales and I'm like, maybe I should get back into sales.
What were
Now
you
that I'm
selling?
back. I was doing appointment setting.
No. You were selling decisions and good feelings about decisions. What kind of appointments?
Different IT stuff like power supplies for HP or like SAP HANA, like business intelligence software, or like actual storage.
And how were you doing with it?
I was doing pretty well at first, and then they paid for me to move to Colorado, but then I ended up getting fired afterwards. So.
Why did they fire you?
I don't know. They just said that my performance wasn't that great, but they're firing a lot of people, so I didn't take it too personally.
Okay.
But I didn't have your book though. So
Yeah, you forgot the book.
up until now.
Let's talk about destroying objections, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
a little bit.
Yes.
I love you, Juan. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Juan, just come here a second. Come here. Will you be on camera?
Certainly.
You don't have to be if you don't want to.
I'm here.
Come here. So I'm so happy to be. He's my brother. He's taken
Yes.
care of me when I had some rough times. Juan, what I love about Juan is he used to not smile. Remember?
Oh yeah.
You came and my guest trainer Stephanie said, you've forgotten how to smile.
No, she said I never smiled.
You never smiled.
Yeah.
Is that true?
When she said it, it rang true with me. I definitely.
Yeah. This stuff saved your life, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely did. See, and this is why I've done this work, because he's such a good-hearted, good man. He really is a loving, good-hearted guy who deserves success in every area of his life. He and guys like him have been what has kept me going for 30 years. I would not continue to have done this as long as I did. You hear how I'm putting it in the past with my verbs? had it not been for guys like this. How long have we known each other?
Oh, about 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7.
About 3 years that you were here in the marina. I was. So how long has that been? About 6? 7
Yeah,
years?
yeah, a long time. Have a seat. I just wanted to acknowledge you.
Thank you, brother.
He's a good guy. And he takes this and he runs with it and makes it real for himself.
My dad, I want to say, I taught my dad some of this, and he got a job that his partner didn't get, like a contract.
You taught your dad this and he got a contract that his...
Yes, he got a job that his partner lost, like some work. They're
Good,
yeah.
good. Use it to benefit your family. I've been teaching my nephews this shit since they were little boys.
They're so fortunate.
Huh?
Very fortunate.
Uncle Kaka. They call me Kaka. That means shit. Uncle shit. I don't care. They can call me whatever. Can you imagine being my nephew and learning at my knee all this hypnotic shit?
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, let's talk about crushing objections. Look at here. Look at up here. The first thing you need to get is the objection is never about the objection. Write that down. The objection is never about the objection. The objection is just a cry for help in feeling secure that they're making a good decision. Any objection you hear is just a cry for help. Are you enjoying this, sir? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're sitting there like a bump on a stump. Are you getting this?
Well, yeah, I ordered the book, so.
Oh, you've read the book?
No, I ordered the book.
Oh, okay.
So the book could be there, available on Amazon. Purchase.
Give it a great review.
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear.
The objection is just a cry for help.
And feeling good about making a better decision. Now, remember we talked about the power of interrupting patterns. We're doing something unexpected or unusual. When someone objects to a sale, what do most salespeople do? They argue, they meekly go away, they try to plead for the deal, right? When you're really good at it, but before you learned my stuff and someone raised an objection, what was your typical response?
Go get the manager.
Go get the manager, okay. All right, and then the manager had to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go get the manager. So, I'm going to teach you a subtle power word because I'm getting tired here. I've been teaching for like hours. The subtle power word is stop. Write down the word stop. When you tell someone stop, they'll literally stop the chain of thought they were having right prior to you saying stop. So if someone says, you know, I think it's a bit out of my price range, if you say, I understand, Tom, but if you were to stop, and if you were to stop and see it in a different way, you might begin to think things differently. I understand, Tom, but if you were to stop and see it in a different way, are we saying what that different way is going to be? Are we? No. We're not saying in what way he'll see it differently. So his objection is it's out of my price range. And we say, I understand your point, but if you were to stop and see it in a different way, you might begin to think things differently. Now, look at that phrase, think things differently. Think what things differently? That's confusing, isn't it? That's a little bit of confusion that you're putting in. Correct or not correct?
Correct.
I can't hear you. Come on. I've got energy.
Correct.
If you want me to keep teaching. think things differently. Think what things differently? It doesn't make any sense grammatically, does it? That creates more confusion. With that in mind, why don't we go over these numbers again so you see how the return on investment is what really matters. Now, most salespeople will say, well, this is because we haven't shown you the return on investment. You're not saying that. You're saying that at the very end of a chain of suggestions. I understand your point, but if you were to stop and see things in a different way, you might think things differently. I understand that it seemed like it was too expensive, Tatiana, but if you were to stop and see things in a different way, you might think things differently. So why don't we have another look at the return on investment that this is going to bring you today? Do you see what we're doing there? Huh?
Yeah, I do.
Who does see what I'm doing there and is clear on it? It's pretty cool, isn't it? The rest of you, go fuck yourself. I'm tired. Buy my book, and it explains all of it. By the way, for those of you at home, my book is called Subtle Words That Sell, written by Ross Jeffries. The subtitle, How to Get Your Prospects to Convince Themselves to Buy Without Pushing, Pressuring, or Pitching. Available on Amazon. Soon to be available on Kindle. So there's no excuse for you to not stop and find yourself buying many copies for yourself, your friends, your family, random strangers. Just buy more copies for your own reasons. Thank you. All right. I'm really tired. I'll take questions and then we're going to wrap it up. Questions about this? Test me. Tell me.
Do you have any kind of like feeling states that go along with this when you're doing it?
Do me?
You just rely
Yeah,
on
you
the
know what my
language?
feeling state is? You really want to know? I'm laughing on the inside. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm laughing at them on the inside. I'm laughing at them. I really am. I shouldn't say that. I'm just, under my breath, I'm suppressing laughter because I'm dancing them around like puppets. This is like really high-powered shit. This is like, I'm like one of my cats. You ever see a cat torture a mouse? Right? Like bat it around? I feel like one of my cats. Yes?
So in the same way with seduction,
Yeah.
there are themes and frameworks.
Not here.
Not here.
Nope.
So we don't talk about buying states or
No. Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't care. Camera off, please. Litigious. Hi there. We were talking about someone who'd sue me. Yes. Yes, we have more questions. Yes.
Okay, so before today, old sales training would say there's positive selling and then negative selling, right? 20% positive, 80% negative, right? So we're not doing that anymore.
Forget
right?
that. That's
out the
like,
window.
that is like saying to me, hey, would you rather climb in this Airbus 380 with a fully reclining bed, color TV, free wireless, or get on a Wright Brothers biplane? They'll both fly. No. Look, if you can get inside their head and mind fuck them on a deep level so they're hypnotically convincing themselves that you are someone they trust completely, you've opened up that childlike 5-year-old in their mind who wants to suspend disbelief, and you're giving them suggestions that they'll repeat those commands over and over and over in their head. What's this fucking positive selling, negative selling? You're getting them to convince themselves to buy. You're not selling anymore. It is not your job to sell. From now on, you are not a salesperson. You are a decision service technician. Write that down. You will never again think of yourself as a salesperson. I just handed you $1 million, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not a salesperson. Sir, the answer to your question is no more selling. You're not going to sell. You're a decision service technician. Do you get it?
Got it.
Do you see how that puts you in a totally different frame? You're a decision service technician. Why? What did you sell?
Services, tax services.
Oh, you're an accountant? Attorney?
No.
Okay, all right, CPA, something like that. Well, you're not selling your services. You're selling decisions and good decisions. You're a decision service technician. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Positive, negative, horseshit. If you want to layer that stuff in, there's no reason why you can't. You have to figure out how to do it, but you can do it. Questions? Yes, sir.
Do you know if this works in the same way online, using some of the same...
Will it work the same online? You mean written?
Yeah, where you see it, not in the same way where you can't use voice.
Well, it
information,
works.
you can't use
It absolutely works in videos.
videos.
Oh, I can train you how to create videos that are fucking super hypnotic that pull by 300, 400% more. I'll teach you how to do that. I can teach you. I can take your individual business and we can sit down for like a fucking day or a weekend. And I'll go, okay, we'll work on everything from A to Z, from how you train your salespeople to what you put online to all this stuff. Individualized. Won't be cheap, but I can do it, yes.
So, like the same as like seduction in sales, would there be like transfer? And if there's a transfer, then either
You don't need to use your trance words. This is easier than seduction. You can, once you get this stuff, you can do it standing on your head. Anyone remember Cal Worthington? You're all too young. I'm Cal Worthington. This is my dog Spot. It would be an elephant or something, or a monkey. But he sold a lot of cars. Any model, any make, go see Cal. He's on the take, go see Cal. He'll sell you cars at a usurious interest rate. Then go home and never mind. I'm really tired. I'm starting to sound like my older brother, Alan. God, I'm tired. A few more questions, then I need to grab something. No. Yes, you, sir.
The old saying, people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
People buy from people who assist them in trusting their own decisions. That's no longer true. People buy from people who help them trust that they're making a good decision. Forget that old shit. People buy from people who help them realize they're making a good decision. I can know you, like you, and trust you, but if I still don't know I'm making a good decision, I'm not going to buy. Right?
Yeah. People buy from people who help them realize they're making a good decision.
Yeah.
Why are you using the word know instead of feel? So we're talking about emotions, right? I mean, isn't this all emotional decision making? Or does it matter? Does it
No,
matter?
feel, mufki, recognize. I'm just playing with words. You're sharp, smart. Ideal client. I'll take two more, and then I gotta. Yes.
So the phrase is, you're selling decisions and what? And the emotion?
Good feelings about decisions.
feelings.
And you're not a salesperson, you're a decision service technician.
So can you just talk about decisions themselves? What you mean?
Well,
I mean-
what is a decision? So
Yeah, I mean, in can you, I guess I'm trying to unpack that. If they're selling decisions,
a decision like person's going to buy the car, person's going to buy the home, person's
know,
going to give the
so-
money. Yeah.
so I got that part, but underneath it, I'm selling decisions by, I'm trying to understand what that means exactly.
It seems pretty clear to me. I don't understand your
Yeah,
question. You want to know what the submodalities of a decision are? Like they're visualizing something and they're talking to themselves and they're feeling a feeling?
So basically, it's I'm selling them on whatever their process is to make a decision, right?
Brilliant. That's
Okay.
right. You're
That's what I
guiding
was
them,
looking for.
or you're guiding them or manipulating them to go through their own process to make it. Essentially saying, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, stop, fall into a deep trance. Go deep into your mind, Find your own process for making decisions. Now, I'm going to continue to speak vaguely to you. As I continue to speak vaguely to you, you will fill in the blanks for yourself and grow more and more excited about your decision to pay me lots of money and feel so good about it, you're going to refer more people to me. On the count of 3, you will awaken, but not consciously remember any of what I just said. And oh, by the way, each and every time you ask me a question, the suggestions I've given you while you've been in this hypnotic state will get even more powerful and even more powerful. Each and every time you run through them, they will double in power to the point where you feel an absolute, almost masturbatory compulsion to give me all the money that you have, go to your ATM, steal your children's college trust fund, sell your jewelry, and give it all to me. On the count of 3, awaken with total amnesia. 1, 2, 3. It's no different structurally than doing that, except it's a lot less work and you won't get caught. Is this fair?
Yes.
I can't hear you, ladies. Is this fair?
Yes, sir.
It is fair, provided you're not hurting anyone. Because if you hurt someone, we have a 4-letter word that's going to happen. Starts with a Y, ends with a P.
Yelp.
Yelp. If you fuck someone over, the ultimate, you remember the phrase, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord? Vengeance is mine, saith Yelp. You fuck someone over, it's going up on Yelp. How many people here have looked up something on Yelp to make a decision? If you see 1 horrible review but 5 good ones, which review do you pay attention to? The horrible one, right? It's been said that 1 bad review equals 10 good ones. So if you fuck someone up, forget about now karma, forget about God, we have Yelp. There's no escaping Yelp, it's there. True or not true?
True.
This ability to give consumer feedback, it's what makes, one of the things that, no pun intended, drives Uber and drives Lyft, but it also, Airbnb. Airbnb, you look at the reviews that people have given, right? So you got to be careful. Forget about forget about serving people, even though you're serving people. Yelp is going to get you. We good? All right. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock.